Hey there, and welcome back to Channel 64. I know, it's been a while. So I think the first thing we should probably do is check our shops that we built in the last episode, which, gosh, it seems like it's been so long ago. So let's see what we have in store here, other than some unwanted squids.
Money.
Money! Well then, I think we've gotten quite a bit. 13 blocks of diamond and what, 8 stacks plus 9? I know, that's a lot. Well, I got some restocking to do, it appears. Well, let me go ahead and restock my shops and then maybe we spend some of these diamonds. So you might be wondering, what have I been up to over the last couple months on the server? Well, procrastinating. I've been doing lots of procrastinating. And then, of course, you know, when I procrastinate, I build farms. So we have, I can't remember if we built this last time, but this is the third and final ENXO for tree farm, modified tree farm. So this one does the final piece that I needed, which is the 2x2 dark oak trees. So dark oak, mangrove, everything else. Pretty simple. What else? Probably need an actual automated bamboo farm. Hey, let's stop procrastinating. No more farms right now. Let's show off what we've been doing. And that is, of course, clearing out some of these trees, lighting up the area, and also raising the roof a bit so I don't hit it, even though I still do, because it's still narrow to fly down. I've been focusing my attention, though, down in our basement, which actually is back this way. So let's hop on down and take a look at all of the fun additions. So first things first, it's a lot fuller in here. So we've got a few major farms added in. Let's take a look at these real quick. So the first one you can see is a creeper farm. And this is a very special creeper farm. One, works pretty great. I've been running this for quite a bit. So this has the ability to flip it on and off between just a standard creeper farm and a music disc farm. So I can go over here, basically put these out with a shovel. And then if I flip these trapdoors, you'll see that the skeletons will be shooting the creepers to kill them, and then we get some music discs, and they're targeting this iron golem over here. But since there's no way to actually hit them based off of the way the arrows drop with gravity, it's just, you know, music discs. So we get lots of those, and I think, well, I've AFK'd this for a bit, and I've got quite a bit. We'll need these later when we get to the actual theme park, and a lot of the custom sounds are going to be incorporated in the rides and just the park itself. So this was very useful. Plus, you know, we may end up selling some of this stuff since we are getting it so quickly. So that might be something we look into as well. In the meantime, though, we probably should light this back up. But yeah, so along with that, of course, lots of gunpowder. I am set for gunpowder for a while, so we've got unlimited rockets basically at this point, which is great. Also, with this farm is, of course, a wonderful sugarcane farm. And as you can tell by the beating of the note block, I have an alley in here as well. Alleys are dumb. I'm just going to be honest with you. They're not smart at all. So I actually had to block this off because the alley was still getting out. This was originally a pathway all the way through here, and the alley actually flew through the entire system all the way through the creeper farm and still managed to get out. So alley is fully contained in here now. These basically are just your standard observer-based sugarcane farm. So once the sugarcane, you know, passes the observer, pistons come out, knock the sugarcane down into the water streams here. Any sugarcane that gets left up on top of here, well, the alley is going to take care of and grab and throw down into this hole here. or at least try to throw it onto the note block, and then that's going to cause that to fall into the water streams. These get collected and then dispensed out here. It goes through this whole system right here. So this is actually, our creeper farm. So we've got, several cats and a little bit of loss, it looks like. But several cats in here, multiple layers. It's just very efficient. And the magma blocks down here are actually for the glow squid that spawn in here. As you can see, we have some leftover glow ink that's stuck on the edge here. So all of that stuff gets basically processed through here. The creepers go down into this hole. They come around over here. They hit, of course, our wonderful soul sand and then go shoot up to the top there. Items, on the other hand, fall through this hole and then also get spit out into the bubble column as well. And those all end up inside of our sorting system, which then splits the sugarcane and the gunpowder apart, which is nice. And I try to theme this all kind of industrial. I've got the colors that we've got from the inside being incorporated down here as well. Also, we've set up some of the scaffolding on our manual farms for the amethyst. I tried to do some automated farms, but they're really fiddly as far as how you have to set them up. Plus, the return rates aren't that great. Plus, I don't really use a ton of this stuff. But when I do, I can go ahead and come in here and grab it, or I can still touch this and then later on, use my fortune pick to get lots of different shards. You've already seen the slime farm. Slime farm working great. And over here, we're going to get to that in a sec. Over here is a second manual amethyst farm as well. This one's actually a little bit bigger than the previous one. So similar setup here, also scaffolding. I figured since this one's so close by anyways, it'd be nice to have two of them in case I do need a ton of tinted glass or, amethyst for calibrated skulk sensors, that type of thing. So it's nice to have both of these in here, and they're all very close by. Yeah, it's on head on back up here. The other thing that I use a lot of is, of course, end rods, and we already have a solution to get the blaze rods. So I want to go ahead and get a wonderful chorus fruit farm. And so this is kind of modified off of a design that I saw our wonderful coach from MCC, CubFan135. I just, expanded it to a ridiculous size because, I do things big. And so this system here, very similar to his design, utilizes these glass panes to basically force a lot of the flowers to appear. And then I have a water system that basically knocks all of this down after you've collected lots of the flowers. You need a certain amount to basically replenish all of this. And so once we get that, we can knock everything else down and get the fruit from that. And then that gets collected basically in hoppers that are underneath this mud down here. So I think this is almost all the way up. It's still kind of growing right now. So once we let this kind of grow a little bit longer, we'll be able to collect coarse fruit. I believe that, yeah, I've got quite a bit right now. Some of the flowers came through. Usually I try to collect this into a different container, but yeah, you see we have a full double chest of fruit already. I think that's from like 2 or 3 batches. And then of course we have our chorus fruit here. I took out some additional panes to get more fruit because I was getting way too many flowers, and so I figured I'd go ahead and do that. And then the button over here is what controls the water, and it's just on a pulse extender to keep that hydrated for a while, so it's enough time for it to knock it all down and then end up washing it back in there. And I probably should check on the slime because we have a lot. So I've been converting the slime blocks from all the slime that we're getting, and yeah, I've got many double chests. This is full. It's just constantly spitting out slime all the time. Don't know really what to do with all that. Maybe pranks or something, but we still have all this space down here and have to be kind of careful. One of the concerns I had with the chorus fruit farm was slime spawning in, so we actually had some slime chunks that these were in, but so far it's been pretty good. I think it's because the blocks that I have up there, they're too close together to spawn slime, but as you can see, I had to slap out another slime chunk because we were getting slime spawning in. And kind of come up in here. I've got my silk touch pick. Can't get out because I'm stuck in. So once this is all done, I can demonstrate how this works. I'm gonna go, probably can do it now. And I don't remember the exact amount. I think it's at least 3 stacks of coarse flowers that we'll need. But I've actually recorded myself harvesting this before, so we can take a look at that now. Anyways, that's pretty much that. It's, you know, a lot of procrastinating that's been going on, but it's not all procrastination. So I have been working on trying to get a build flow with, or I should say, like a design process for some of these rides. It's a little bit more complicated than I originally imagined. So last season, I committed myself to 8 Robot Masters with 8 areas themed after them, and that was just insanely difficult to do. This season, I've committed myself to a theme park. I haven't said how many rides are going to be in here because I knew if I committed myself to a certain number of rides, that would be incredibly stressful, and we don't want that coming off of that last season. So I've been, I have a few ride ideas in mind, but you know how I like to do things. I kind of go a little over detailed, and so with that, I have to build ride systems. I have to have custom models. It's a lot of stuff. So I figured we'll go ahead and take a quick detour, a little breaking the fourth wall here, and look at some of the design stuff I've been working on that hasn't yet made it into the ride yet. And we'll talk a little bit about what that first ride's going to be. And I'm going to probably have to work on getting that put together here very soon, because I definitely want to make sure that we get some rides in here so we can open the park. Hey there, we are in my redstone testing world, also my build void where I work on projects that are going to be in future episodes, or even things that are just not necessarily part of future things. I've been working in this world for years now. This is actually all the way back to when I first started doing content for SMPs. You can see out there in the distance part of Tango's factory. This is a build from my Lots of Axles axolotl shop and other things. So really trying to avoid spoilers here because there's a lot of stuff from upcoming episodes, but we're just going to ignore that green butt in the back there. All right, so this is a log flume ride setup. This is based off of the lazy river kind of a concept created by, I think it's Dingifried or Dingifried. I don't know how you pronounce your name, but that's the name. We're going to link it down in the description. So essentially, these water streams push a boat along, and it'll allow it to go through kind of like a lazy river. So I'm going to be using this for a water ride in our theme park. It's going to be our very first ride. And the ride itself, the concept of it is essentially going to be that we are in a kind of a lumber mill, kind of a wooded area, and there have been raccoons that have taken over the lumber mill, and the lumber mill operator has tasked us with capturing those raccoons and trying to de-infest his entire area. And so the game that's going to be played along with this is basically target shooting, and we're going to be trying to target shoot the raccoons, in which case then we are able to get points based off of the number of raccoons you catch. And of course, at the end, you know, because this is going to be a continuous ride, there's going to be a story that goes along with it, with each of the room scenes and stuff like that, like an actual, you know, theme park ride. And of course, you know, the raccoons are going to escape the end. You know, spoiler. But so basically, the way this works, I had to come up with a system because obviously water only flows straight or flows down. Can't really go uphill. So I needed a concept to work with basically the chain lift. And I couldn't really do a chain lift the traditional way I would have done it, like I did with my one chunk roller coaster. But let's hop in here. I'll show you how this works a little bit. So I'm going to hopefully not spoil too much. I'm going to try to keep my head down here. So what we're going to do is push ourselves into the water, and ideally I would like to make a boat using my mod that I have for getting some of our custom models into game, to make a boat that doesn't grow. So this concept here hits a pressure plate, which then dispenses a minecart, which then captures our boat, takes us up the chain lift, and then also lets us go, and away we flow. So that's what I had been working on there. That's going to be very important for our ride to get us going, and then I think we'll have different drops and stuff as time goes on. And it's pretty simple because minecarts will pick up other entities, including boats. And so basically it comes all the way over here, hits a couple activator rails, and then the minecart gets sucked on down there and dispensed into the cauldron, or hits the cauldron, becomes an object, and then we can feed that back into the system, kind of loops it back around. Similar concept right here. So we're going to have to do a little bit of imagination because we don't have custom models in here yet, but essentially this is going to be kind of one of the setups of one of our targets. And the way it's going to work is as the ride is going along, we're going to be triggering different things to happen. So you'll have different targets that you shoot at. All are going to be kind of textured minecarts. So for example, this one right here is going to be one that kind of pops up into the air, and then you try to shoot it. And if you miss it, it will still kind of put itself back down into the system so that we can recycle these. But if you do hit it, it will fall into a different set of hoppers, and we'll be able to take a score from that. So here's how it goes. So we got to be quick. And we hit it. There we go. Of course, it normally would pop into an item if I was in survival. Let's try that. Nope, and I missed. And as you see, gets dispensed down in there. So it's a pretty neat system, and it's worked out pretty good. I'm going to have some of those, so you're going to have some raccoons kind of like jumping up from behind the scenery. We're going to have some there running along different things. And I think a lot of that's going to be using minecarts. And the minecarts are just an easy way to kind of get some movement for these, what essentially are going to be static different targets that we're going to be shooting. And the goal here is hopefully that if you take out one, it'll dispense more and more and more. So the faster that you're taking them out, the more points you'll be able to score. Please ignore everything in the background. That's going to be coming in the very next episode here, so we're just not going to look at that. Anyways, let's head on back to channel 64 and continue on. Oh, I have been filling the inventory as for future build projects. So got quite a bit of wood going here, and a stone, thanks to digging out even more stuff for the end horse fruit farm. I have so much stone, like it's ridiculous. My supply is full, plus I think there's like 50 shulker boxes of stone in here. It's like stupidly full. Let's see, empty boxes full. Okay, maybe not 50, but like close to 30 of stone in here. But yeah, it's a lot. it's a lot, which is good though, because we're gonna need to really double our efforts when it comes to actually building stuff in game. And having to not grind for materials is fun. Just being able to come in here and get everything I need. So with that, I think that's all the time we have left in this episode. I know it's been kind of short, a little bit rambly, but I wanted to at least catch up on what I've been doing, and we'll get to building here very soon. We've been distracted with a lot of other SMP projects and whatnot, so hopefully we'll get some more updates on that theme park very soon. Thank you for watching, and safe travels, everyone. Man, that's so much money. I don't even know what I'm going to do with all of this. I could spend some of it in some of these shops, but where do I start first? I mean, there's like so much to go around.
Freeze, Loki! You're under arrest. Tax evasion.
Loki? Loki, are you okay? Oh, shoot.